Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over the cryptocurrency market, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some other assets here. Um, let you know what is probability of going on with these assets. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is, in my opinion, more than likely in a topping pattern of some sorts. Could have pushed back up to say 17,595. It could. 1.618. I went through Twitter. I was going through my Twitter page, guys, or post on my Twitter, give you guys what I was kind of looking at, basing it with Ethereum. I have Bitcoin here. Then I went through Ethereum, I went through Tether and the DXY. Um, what I was probably saying, look, don't be surprised if you see something like this with Bitcoin. I put on Twitter, and then right here as an example in the RSI, the 12-hour RSI is what I was looking at, and I will explain this in a video, okay, right here today. And I'm looking at this with Bitcoin, guys. Could it spike up a little bit more? It could, but I just see it pointing more towards a topping pattern in that area and come back up here and come back down. So what's likely to happen, in my opinion, I think the traditional markets, NASDAQ, S&P, et cetera, are probably going to be pushing up a little bit more to a corrective wave and then swing back down, or they could be done. It remains to be seen what's going to be going on with that. And Ethereum's the same way. And a similar scenario is just testing closer to those lows. But if you take a look at Ethereum, right in that area and just ever so slightly getting up there to a topping pattern. Okay. Could it come back down and spike above there? It could. But this is really both with Ethereum and Bitcoin, guys. This is really starting to put off your classic A, B, C type move. Okay. The other thing that's going against Ethereum is how high this is in the 12-hour RSI compared to this leg over here with a massive amount of bearish divergence. Bitcoin is in a similar scenario. Let me go to a 12-hour chart now that Bitcoin has pushed up in that 12-hour RSI now, guys, all the way up here, creating that massive amount of hidden bearish divergence once again. Okay, telling you this is more than likely going to be a trend continuation pattern for another low. Now, the good news is that this could be the shot once Bitcoin starts getting down here, this area, that could be the end of it. The end of this correction is what I'm going to be looking for with a massive amount. You come out here to the daily chart, I'll show you what I would be looking for. Perhaps this does play out, okay? All right, I want to take that off on the daily. I want to take off the fib extension tool for you guys, okay? And you can see here in the daily, you see how it's kind of winding up here in the daily back down, and now it's winding back up. Maybe could it get back up there? It sure is. But you take a look at the daily, last time was something was that high, you had a dump over here, dump. And there's no confirmation that this is the uptrend, okay? And if it's not an uptrend, more than likely you're going to have something like what I'm going to be forming down here is just say like this, and then Bitcoin can swing back down in that RSI. And in the price, what you could probably see is, depending on how it gets down there, just like so, you want to see this bullish divergence on the daily, and that would be the play right there. So if I see something like that, potentially, I would say if you want to make a ton of money, personally, what I would be doing is looking for a serious leverage long down there. If you saw a setup like that, that's what I would be doing to make really, really good, serious hardcore, and just go hard with it and try to get a seriously good play out of there, guys. Um, you know, so that's what I would be checking out. The other thing is too is the UDT dominance chart, guys. Let's go over the USDT dominance chart. If you see this right here, check this out. You see how deep it is in the 12-hour RSI back down here? So this could be setting up for a spike. I would really, really like to see this too look like it has a completed sequence and get back up there. So this is going against Ethereum and then or Bitcoin. And then if you take a look at the DXY, guys, it's undeniable there is some bearish bullish divergence forming on the DXY. Could it keep going down and keep trending down? It could, but at some point on this right here, okay, this right here, boom, 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 boom. It is going to have a retrace, okay? And come back down and maybe come back up like this, and then it can start going back down just like that, right? And although there's a discussion I had on Twitter with a gentleman in Twitter is, the DXY, it's not 100% correlation, guys, okay? This, just because a DXY is going down doesn't mean Bitcoin goes up, okay? Or this goes up and then Bitcoin goes down. The other thing you have to take in consideration with the DXY, with its signal, right, is the signal is that it's probably in a downtrend. So any retrace for the DXY probably won't be as strong. Okay, it won't be as strong as it was when it was bullish. Even though it's retracing and it's bullish, it's a retrace in a downtrend. So the signal won't be as strong. I think that's what I was trying to relay to this gentleman there. It's just a signal. Okay, this going up, pay attention to it. And same thing with the other assets. Ethereum. What is it going to do? It's going to break out of there and go bullish? Probably not without Bitcoin. And then all the other signals are pointing more towards a continuation in the trend to get this correction over with, guys. That's what I'm looking at. I want to be bullish. I want to be bullish and say, okay, yeah, it's going to be going bullish. I want to be, I want this to be done and over with, just like anybody else here. But the signals are pointing more towards bearishness, guys. Even here on the daily chart, look at that on the daily chart, guys. This is clear as the shining sun. You see, look at this. That's undeniable in the daily right there, guys. You have divergence, hidden bearish divergence right there on the daily. For Bitcoin to take that out, Bitcoin needs to push all the way at least beyond the candle bodies of 17.9 and preferably up there. And then you could say, yeah, okay, Bitcoin is probably going to continue on its trend, and it could stay up here, come back down and correct, and then come back up, and do kind of something like that. It could do that. But it just don't know. Just don't know right now, guys. That's the whole thing. Speculation. It's pointing more towards this, guys. Okay. Which is a good thing. So what does that mean for you and your coins? Well, that means you go check your coins out. Say example like Chiliz. Here's Chiliz. Is Chiliz doing a counter trend move? Some people would probably get in there and say, "Oh yeah, it's bullish." That's looking awfully like a flat to me. But all this means is that Chiliz went up high enough now. You see how high Chiliz went up now? Let's say Chiliz is right there and it comes all the way down. Look at that. It can dump 28% and still be in a bullish sequence when Bitcoin, if perhaps Bitcoin dumps. Same thing with Ethereum. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is all the way up there now. And let's say it needs to do a dump. It can dump, look at that, 25, actually more than that. Ethereum can do a massive dump. That's a pretty good dump, 30%. This was the FTX deal right here. And then what do we have now? We have this GBTC stuff that's going on. That could cause a stir in the markets for sure. But everybody knows about that right now too, guys. So it could be priced in a little bit. So it might just be like a dump, like this. Okay. That's how I'm looking at the markets right now, guys. I think that these assets right now are the probability with Ethereum. I'll put it to you this way. If you're not in a trade, think about it. What would you do right there? Go long or go short? And wherever you're going to be having your bias towards, because it will be a bias, right? It'll be a bias. And that's probably where it more than likely could go if you're looking at this in a as objectively as possible. And that's what I'm trying to do. I want this to go bullish, but using the signals and the other data, what we have going on is that it just looks like the probability of Ethereum is going to be trekking back down this way. It may take it some time, but until I see it up above there, retesting and then getting out of there, there's no evidence for it to be bullish. As a matter of fact, it's pointing more towards bearishness right here and just a counter trend move, even though it came back up to test. I mean, that is really, really, really close, guys. That's so close, but a wave 1-2. So here's what it is. This is actually would be the ultimate short setup, right? Because you could be going into a wave 3, technically 2, right? As long as it doesn't break that high over there, it could be whizzing back down into a 3, just like so. And maybe there is some sort of bad news that's coming along because of this. And the traditional markets too, guys, are setting up like that. If you take a look at the say the S&P 500, right? The S&P 500 potentially could be setting up for something like that. So you have a wave down here potentially, and it's in a counter trend move. 618, it could pop all the way up to 618, and then you have a gap. You have gap resistance right there, and a gap fill all the way up to 39 or 4,000, right in that area. The 618's right in the middle in that area, and then the maybe there's some negative news that's going to be coming along or something to push it in, and then back down into that wave right there, right? This wave right here, something like that. Just using all the other data points, and then going back over to, let me pop back up to the USTT dominance chart on the 12-hour. It sure looks like to me that this thing is getting itself prepped up to do a boom up there. So take a look at the USTT dominance chart right here on the 12-hour, right? Just through its latest trend. I posted this on Twitter, and here it is right there on this trend. It's on the first trend. I have a second trend, long-term trend, and a short-term trend. And right down here in this area, the lowest it's ever been on the 12 hours since a long time ago, guys. So all the way down here, and you take a look at this one. What did it do down there? Spike. What did it do in this area? There's a spike there right down in this area. It went back up onto an uptrend. This area, it still went up, even though it was technically in a correction. And this area went up and down, and even in this area, it's still, whether it's a bullish, bullish, what I mean, bullish up or whatever, be going up and be bullish or something. It's definitely setting itself up. And what does that mean for the some other assets is that they're probably going to be setting themselves up to go down. So, like I said, guys, at the end of the day, when it comes to Bitcoin and the scenario it's in, don't be surprised for a potential spike up there to get people temporary bullish again, spike up like 17.6, 17.8, and get them really, really bullish, and then it could do another trend move or something like that, or not a counter trend, but a move to go back down. That's how I see it. It looks like to me it's actually, looking at the overall picture of it, you're like, wow, that's pretty bullish. But this is looking awfully three-wave-ish to me, guys. That's undeniable. You get A, a B, and then a C, just like so, guys. That's what it looks like. If you want this to be a bullish, okay, at the end of the day, like you want this to be bullish, you're going to want to see, like here's 1, 2, there's a 3. You're going to want to see a fourth wave over here. You need to see that fourth wave, okay? And it doesn't look like it wants to come. I mean, we could get it, but it doesn't look like it. All right, guys, that's the end of my video. If you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor. Drop a like. Hit the subscribe button. Peace.